Hello, Seka. All right, we got coffee. What's happening today? There was a new event. You missed it last night. What event? You forgot? Yes.
No, man, he didn't even know what was happening.
Shut up, Normie Seka. Exposed. And you guys suck. My hair's gone. Get over it. Okay? Get over it. It's gone. Also, I just cut it in the bathroom. Okay, we got the new shop coming in for May 2021. The brand new shop is here. I am excited. Okay, cool. Go to the shop, and the winner of the new shop is Lisa and Bennett! Let's go! Oh, baby! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yes. I'm happy. Let's freaking go. Oh, man. All right. So, we were talking about this yesterday. No. 4 days ago. 4 days. My bad. We were talking about this 4 days ago. So the reason Bennett has not showed up on banners, and I shot called this about 4 days ago, was because he's going to be in the shop. And I was like, oh, he's not going to be on banner. So in 1.5, Bennett will probably not be on a banner. He might be on the EULA banner, but I heavily doubt it because he's in the shop. So 1.6 or first banner 1.6 or in May. Yes, probably on the next banner in there. So my recommendation on Bennett, because Bennett will be coming probably much, much later. And he has not been on banners a lot. They have kind of changed the way they're doing their banner rotations and releasing characters we really, really want for constellations, things like that. So, do I recommend you pick up a constellation copy for Bennett? Maybe. But if it's a brand new Bennett and you don't have Bennett, get fucking Bennett. Please. If you do not have a Bennett at all on your account, please, for the love of God, buy the Bennett. Please, if you are free to play, if you are a whale, it doesn't matter. If you don't have Bennett, please, for the love of God, pick up Bennett. I've done so many account reviews with people who do not have Bennett. Please pick up the Bennett. It is a huge account improvement. You will have a life-changing experience. He's great. Insane character. Okay, the next thing. Should you pick up constellations for Bennett? The answer is maybe. Okay, so a lot of people talk about constellations for Bennett, and a lot of people rotate around his C1. If you don't know how the C1 works, essentially it will extend Bennett's buff by an additional 20%, giving you an additional amount of attack percentage based on his base attack. So what you get on him is a 90% bonus attack ratio at talent level 8, which is what a lot of people have, and it caps out then with this buff at 110%. If you get Constellation 3 on him, then it goes Constellation 5 on him, it goes even further because you get more talents on this here. But should you pick up the Constellation for Bennett? Well, C1 is a massively overhyped constellation because it removes the HP restriction. Now, the HP restriction, if you're not aware, is not an issue for Bennett because you heal so quickly. For other characters, it might be an issue, but there is probably a 1 second interval where you are below the HP threshold because he heals for about 4,000 even without any HP kinds of gear. If you just have normal talents on Bennett, and you get up to crowning him, he's somewhere between 3k to 4k heal every 0.75 seconds or so, and it heals so quickly, you're gonna be above that 70% threshold a ton. That's not the reason the C1 is good. It's the 20% extra attack giving you basically like 3 talent levels. That's why the C1 is good. The HP restriction doesn't really matter. The 20% is nice, but in overall damage, that's probably somewhere between a 5 to 7% damage increase on the characters that you're boosting. So it's not a huge increase. The math on that I've done in other videos, but I won't give you this one. I'll spare you the math. It is very simple. It's only about a 5 to 7% damage increase overall. The energy recharge gain from C2 is phenomenal. This is a huge consolation for Bennett because one of the things that a lot of people suffer from is when people are healing on Bennett or they're low on HP on Bennett, they need to get their ulti back up so they can heal. This is a very, very nice constellation QOL buff for him. It definitely helps out if you have lower energy recharge, especially if you're working with something that's not a festering desire or you we're here for the Dragon Spine event. This is a huge issue for a lot of people. If you don't have this weapon, by the way, the best weapon to use for Bennett is the Favonia sword if you're struggling with energy recharge because it has a very high amount of energy recharge. The problem with the Favonius Sword in comparison, though, is a very low amount of base attack, so you get a lower attack buff, but a higher energy recharge buff. For damage, the best free-to-play weapon is the Iron Sting, and if you were lucky enough and have the Alley Flash, it is the best overall weapon for Bennett if you're looking for damage. Looking into the other constellations, C3 improves your E. C4, for the Passion Overload, this gives you the Shoryuken style ability. So basically, when you do a hold E on your Bennett, instead of stopping at the top there, you are able to click with your mouse or whatever with your attack button and come down again. That's what the C4 does. It's a huge improvement for DPS Bennett, but not so much for supporting Bennett, which is whatever build you go with. Not a huge improvement there. And the last constellation for C6 is what everyone skips. Everyone skips C6 because it gives you a Pyro Infusion, which can override a lot of other things. Do I recommend you skip C6 Bennett? Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I really want it for certain teams. I just do a lot. I'm a YouTuber, so I do certain showcases. So I can't really do it on all accounts. If I had more copies of Bennett, I would definitely do it just for experimentation and fun, because it is a really cool thing that I want to try out. All right, so the other thing on the shop, by the way, is Lisa. Should you be picking up a Lisa constellation? For most players, the answer is no. 90% of players, the answer is no, don't pick this up. It is not a good constellation to pick up. Lisa only really gets a huge power spike at C6. Her constellation 6 is what really brings her out, but all the other constellations help her, just not in an actual meaningful way. So I don't really recommend people picking her up. Unless you're a whale and you're really trying to get constellations on Lisa and trying to go for C6 Lisa over time, this will take you years to actually get constellation 6 if you're free to play. So I don't really recommend doing it unless you already have a lot of constellations on Lisa randomly. C6 on Lisa, if you didn't know, gives you a max stack of the violet arc stacks. What those are is it makes it so that your actual damage from your E ability, for your hold E, is going to jump from 320% all the way up to about 487% at rank 1. So the damage increase is pretty sizable on the Constellation 6 because you get a massive damage bump on a hold E. So definitely something that I would consider if you're a big whale looking for something out. I'm going to pick one up on my whale account, not going to pick them up on any other account. The big primo thing, though, is do not miss out on this. I say this every other month when these come out. These weapons are exceptional. There's the Blacklift Longsword, the Blacklift Slasher, Blacklift Pole, Blacklift Agate, and Blacklift Warbow. Many people have asked me if should you get refines on these. I'll go over this in a second because I will be talking first off about what you should really be picking up. For Eula, the Blacklift Slasher is a good option, but you already have other great options that are going to be available for you. And for Yanfei, I did test out the Blacklift Agate on Yanfei, but I was actually not super impressed. And there's not really a lot of weapons that you can use as a free-to-play player. So if you don't have any other options like the Widzith or potentially the Solar Pearl, which is an okay option, not really the best, it is a decent option because it actually is the full, well-rounded weapon for you. I just don't think that this weapon is the weapon because Yanfei's kit kind of revolves around crit chance and not so much crit damage when you're looking. So the ratios for 1-to-2 ratio matter a lot more, if you know what I mean. It is definitely kind of it's kind of a weird thing to go for. All right. The Blacklift Polearm. This is the polearm I would recommend picking up. If you don't have a Blacklift Polearm, I 100% recommend picking one up for all your account because there are so many other characters in the game that require this weapon. There's Zhao, Hu Tao, Zhongli, and Zhangling. All four of these characters do well with this weapon, but the unfortunate thing, the reason you pick this up is because if you are a free-to-play player, the amount of options you have for spear characters is extremely limited. And since you don't have a lot of options for those characters, you definitely should pick up a Blacklift Polearm because the amount of options for polearms is lower than all the other weapons in the game. You do not have a sacrificial weapon you can use for polearm users, and the Favonius weapon is kind of lackluster when you go to Zhongli, unless you really want to get an ulti up every 12 seconds, and that's also kind of difficult to do because then you lower your damage, it's not really high powerful, and is it really worth it at that point to even rotate in with your ulti? So again, Blacklift Polearm is, do I find to be a way better option. The Blacklift Slasher is an incredible option for the Luke, Eula. It's okay for Razor, and overall just a great main DPS weapon. Blacklift Longsword has actually a higher base attack modifier than most of the rest, so if you're looking for a Bennett weapon, this is a high base attack weapon for Bennett, but I would not recommend it. And it's going to be this weapon's going to be really, really good potentially for a character in 1.6 if you wanted a free-to-play weapon that could work with C damage. Now that that character is rumored to work more off of other factors and not so much critical damage, especially with the new leaks, but developer notes that went over exactly what's going on with other types of damage. These weapons are going to be acceptable for those characters. Blacklift Warbow, if you need it for one of your characters, great option, but there's a lot of other bow options, so it's really not the one I would pick up. There's not any other changes to the Stardust shop, so make sure you pick up your summons, get your summons all the way. It is 100% always worth to do. Otherwise, that's going to be it for the shop. All right, guys. Well, my name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the new shop as well as the new Blacklift weapons that are going to be back to the shop this month. Let me know who you're going to use these weapons on, or if you're going to be using other characters that are going to be out this month. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.